Buenas and half a day. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today to present resolution number 162-35 to the family of the late Senora Mary C. Camacho Untalan. With me today is Senator Kelly Marsh Taitano. And resolution number 162-35 is relative to posthumously recognizing Senora Mary C. Camacho Untalan as Guam's first woman carver and commending her for perpetuating the Chamorro culture and heritage, and to further expressing our sincere condolences to the Camacho Untalan family in our passing. Just a little bit of history for the people of Guam. Senora Mary and I grew up together in Deredu. And she was the only one that would always surprise me because I bought a table from her over 30 years ago. So if anybody wants to talk history with Mary and I, we were in the military together, and she would surprise me because sometimes she'd drive up in a truck, and I'll look at her and I'll say, "Where you been, Mary?" She said, "I've been in the Zongo," and I'll see the EFIT trunks in the back of the truck, and I ask her, and I say this in Chamorro, who you with? I said, "I'm by myself." I said, "Mary, you know, like a lot of Chamorros will tell you, you got to have a spirit in you in order to go from her. I've got several carvings from her. I only bought one item. She didn't want me to buy anymore. She goes, 'No, Joe, we're family. We're from Deredu.'" And I'll just read a little bit more because, you know, it's really very personal for me. And when I found out that, and getting the official identification that she is the only woman wood carver. There may be others, but small scale. But Mary, Senora Mary, did full scale. And some of you may have, if you've been to the Chamorro village, she had her own, what's that, office or store. And that was known, and she was very giving. As an advocate for perpetuating Chamorro culture and arts, Senora Mary learned at an early age the art of wood carving from her father, Manette, who was also a carver. And he was well known in Deredu, right, Tony, the brothers here. Using ifit and other wood as her medium and tools left to her by her father. She was poised to bring her life to work using Guam's scenic beauty and history as her inspiration to create beautiful art pieces that represent her love for Guam. She left behind her children, Shawnee, Joaquin, Jonathan, and stepchildren Charles, Christopher, John, and Gerard, and you know, Jonathan's wife is also here present. I know you met up with Mary, right? I mean Kin. See, I'll get mixed up with the name, but I know Mary. And if Mary was here, she says, "Ambitso, it's okay. Still my voice." I said, "Okay." Senora Mary was also a defender of peace as she served with the United States Army, retiring as a staff sergeant. She was also 100% disabled veteran. Commonly known as the Ifit Lady, Senora Mary's carving encouraged her to open up Ifit adults and Famagun. So for many of the shoppers, if you went to Chamorro, Senora Mary was instrumental in sharing her skills among many others. It is our pleasure to honor Senora Mary's work and contribution to the art of wood carving and express undankuna sizus masi to her and her family for continually perpetuating Guam's culture. And with me today is the oversight chair on all the Chamorro affairs, Senator Kelly Marsh, and I'd ask her to assist me in presenting to, I have the husband, Carl, I have the brother, Tony, and I have the sons. If you can please join us, and we'll present this to you.
Hafide. I'm so pleased to be part of this, and so I'm so glad that Senator Joe made sure to reach out to me. He knows where my heart is, and he knows how much I appreciate those that perpetuate the art and the culture of Guam, and especially for Chamorros. So additionally, it means so much to be finding out about the first female and really only female carver, and to find out that She had a shop across from our family, as Senator Joe said, Taitano wood carving at Chamorro Village. It just really makes me appreciate so much being able to be here and to have met the family. And I can see that she left such a legacy of caring individuals, artistic contributors to our island, and the next generations as well that will be coming up and contributing to the island. So, Sajus Masi, Senator Joe, and it's been such an honor to meet all of you.
And I'd ask the husband, Carl, if you can say a few words on behalf of your.
I was expecting this, so I wrote a little.
And I want to make sure Mary's standing next to you.
I wrote a short speech. But first of all, buenas tardes, Senator Joe San Agustin and Senator Kelly Marsh. My name officially is Carl Antlam. I am the husband. And in short, Mary's beginnings, picking up her skill was from her father, the late Manuel Manimbusan Camacho, who was also a master carpenter, just as a carver in that sense. She told me that she picked up her skills from watching her father work on many carpentry projects, as well as making home furnitures, just as tables, chairs, and cabinets. Personally, I believe that she inherited her father's genes relative to carving skills. It was only a matter of time to nurture such skills into the mastery art. While born here in Guam, she was raised by her uncle from her mother's side, or father's side, I'm sorry, and on in Hawaii, from her elementary years to high school years. And then she continued her education through college, obtaining a BA in Business Administration in California. She also obtained another BA in Criminal Justice. And in addition to that, she was also a paralegal and a notary public for many years here in Guam. And as the Senator Joe San Agustin mentioned, she was a military retiree and also 100% disabled Army veteran. But she did not show that she was either a military retiree nor that she was 100% disabled. You couldn't tell. She never showed it. Since she was mostly off island for quite a period of time, she spoke several languages, certainly Pidgin Hawaiian, Japanese, a little Korean, and of course English. Early on, when she returned to Guam and opened up her store in the Chamorro Village, she was teased that while she is a local Chamorro, she could not speak the language. She made it a priority to learn how to speak our language, and to those who had teased her, were so surprised when she could fluently and clearly converse with them in Chamorro. She was a determined woman and a fast learner. It was her desire to learn, capture, and bring our Chamorro heritage and tradition, in essence, our culture, to the people of Guam. And thus, Mary showcased her skills in the traditional art of carving, and most significantly, working with our known indigenous tree, the ifit tree. Mary was the first female carver, as Senator Joe pointed out, but ifit carver at that. Amongst all her fellow artisan carvers, whom were all males at that time. And lasted throughout her career as well. And lastly, perhaps some of you know Mary, or may have known of her, and perhaps you may have crossed paths at some point in time at Chamorro Village. She operated a store for over 24 years, closing it around 2014. Her store's name was aptly titled If It Addaw Zan Famaguun, for the meaning of the name is If It Addaw, depicting strength above. Zan Famaguun with her children, for she was the strengthened family, depicting the ifit tree. And Zan Famaguun, depicting the roots of that ifit tree. And believe it or not, her work can be found in San Francisco Airport, the Pentagon, former governors, Senator Joe San Agustin. It's all a testimony of her skills and her artisan way of life. This legislative resolution recognizes her achievements and legacy and truly shows her sincerity and appreciation of her artwork and contributions not only to the people of Guam, but to those who love and always cherish her, her beautiful children, her brother, sister-in-law, and her many friends. While she's not here, San Agustin and Senator Kelly Marsh, Dangkulo Dagrazilmintu, si Zuza Midindisi, Pauguz and Todo Bona. Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to say a few words, but it looks like my pops took up all the time, so he covered everything pretty much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all for attending. And for the people of Guam, thank you for listening to the recognition of Mary C. Camacho Untulan. Thank you.